Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Lighting Your Sunshine, where we like to shine a light within and empower ourselves. So today, there's no message, let's just hop in and see what Spirit wants to share. We're still using the same cards as last time because I really liked it, so. How many this time? Okay, we got one that flew out. They're not giving me a number. They're just saying shuffle. So I guess I'll know. Oh, this has to do with something. And this, not really, they say. Yeah, no, it's coming out pretty smooth. It's okay. Hold up. So this one flew out, and then what happened is there was a stack here, and I shuffled, and in my normal manner that would have been the card I pull, but they say this isn't even important. So what is it? 5, 6, 7 of angels. And so here we have the angels reaching out to help. The only thing that I get a little confused with the good omens is that the suits that they picked for them don't make sense with how my brain works. And so I think they made, I don't know, they made angels be something that was an air element. So this is swords. So what is 7 of swords? 7 of swords is lying and sneaking and trickery. But here we have the angels. So that's weird. I'm hearing like the Cardi B. That's suspicious. Okay, so the card that did fly out was the 8 of vessels in reverse. So what's standing out is the vessels. And there we got the humans in their little coffee shop, living their little lives. But the vessel, like in the upright, I see them pretending to be human, right? Living that human life. The vessel in reverse was showing me almost like an energy working through them. So an unwanted energy. Because yes, as a medium, you can channel and do these things. But the main thing that they want, okay, so like when I channel, I kind of go to the back. Like I'm always there, but I'll let something else kind of come in. And I don't really like channeling much, to be honest. I like being in control. I'm such a fixed element that I don't like sharing. I don't like sharing, but sometimes I do. And so when I do, it's almost like I'm there. I never ever give anything fully and be like, here, you take over everything. Maybe if I'm like healing or I'm doing a channeling and I'm like bringing in the angels through to help with healing, maybe I would let go of the reins more in that type of situation. But other than that, when it comes to like guides, there's so many beings outside of ourselves that we're in this really cool time that Earth is shifting. It is becoming what everybody wants it to be. What do I mean by that? It's like your brain creates your reality. So if you stay on like the negative timeline, then you're going to see negative things happen. But if you hold space with the higher frequency and the higher timeline, then you're going to see miracles and awesome things happen. And it's not to say that by holding the higher timeline that the negative doesn't exist. It's just, it's how you handle things and work through it. There's so many people that can be dealt the same situation, but everyone handles it differently. And so it's how you utilize your emotions and energy to work through something rather than stay stuck in something. And so what about that? Oh, because we're in this split time with choices. We're being bombarded by so many beings. Like they're all like up there just watching us, and they really are like, well, it's up in the air because it's up for us to choose. And I think that's why it's almost like, you know, how we go and watch sports or sports or concerts or something like that. Hey, beauty girl. That's almost like what we are to them. They are like their popcorn or whatever. They don't quite have popcorn, but energetic popcorn, and they're watching the show. And so, if you give up your free will for some things, they say that's when other attachments will come in, and right, we don't want to build cords to other people, but now you kind of are building cords to things and attachments to things, and you don't understand why. And they're saying it's not you, it's other things living through you. So there is a need to be very clear and very present, and not escape and avoid things. Because if you're just going to keep escaping and avoiding, well, now you're an empty vessel. And this is 8 of vessels. We want you to be functioning in society and things like that. See, here she is at the coffee shop, living her best life. But in the mindless way, when you kind of escapism or whatever, that not being as present and engaged, then again, you're that open vessel and other things can come through, and they don't have the same goals and values and ideals as you. So what do we have here? We have the World card. And so that's just kind of, again, backtracking on what we just said about the world and how we are in this celebratory time, how there is the 2 splits. You could choose, right? You often hear, like in biblical times, that there was a big fight and you had to choose sides and stuff like that. And not choosing was a choice by saying no. And so it's not quite that energy that's coming through, right? We don't want to spread fear on that, they say. That they wanted to go on to the next card. So there's that fear. There's that face, which kind of came out a lot in yesterday's reading. It was in reverse though, right? Because we don't want to be, especially when you watch Good Omens, the angels are just as ready, if not more, willing to fight than the demons are. Obviously, demons do what demons do, and they're just ready to fight at all times. But like the angels, like they've prepared, like that's their purpose, was to fight and have war. And so there is something to do with this anger. So what they're telling me now is that someone actually does have a lot of anger in them, and it's not your anger, it's all these attachments and things that you collect along the way, in your absent-mindedness. So I'm not sure if a very good example would be drinking. People who drink tend to have a lot of attachments to them, because they don't want to be present, right? They want to feel a different way. And so they drink to escape that feeling. And so now these are the feels. And so Spirit's saying that someone is trapped in this loop of anger. And it seems like you're in a harmonious environment with angels, but the attachments and those around kind of are bringing in this anger or this oomph of something that's is blocking it. It's taking away the present moment and putting it in a uncomfortable moment. So let's just see. They told me to fan it out and then look at the colors, and I'm getting a lot of chills right now. Why am I getting chills? It has to do mostly with the blue and yellow and then the orange. So I'm seeing that as like lower chakras and things like that. Which again, more from the heart up is our connection to above. And then from our heart down is anchoring it into the earthly plane. And so we keep thinking that we want to connect more to the up. So now they're telling me a story about someone who just wants to channel and connect to anything. And so they're so willing to be this open vessel that they'll just connect to anything and be like, I'm going to connect to an angel, and not really doing the due diligence of who they're connecting to. Then again, they're showing me someone who is drinking too much and hanging around low vibing people. And especially if you've been drinking, you're lowering your vibration bit by bit by bit. There is this attachment that doesn't resonate at the same frequency as you do. Whereas one kind of presents itself as loving and caring and helping, this one is trapped in more vengeance, and that's not fair. And she said, I don't know, it's a little kid energy that kind of is coming through for this. And that little kid is just like jealousy. That's kind of what's coming through. It's this jealousy. And so the final card, because I did want to say the green, but mostly it came to these lower chakras in the heart. But this one seemed a bit off. It just wasn't quite the right green. And so I didn't know why, so I just kind of avoided it. Hey, I got green on my sweater. Which I'm a little bit cold today. I love this jacket. It makes everything the best. Okay, so then now with that split, with that duality, with that choice, with you now being more present, it's almost what I get like this is almost like slimy, or I'm not getting like a green, like a toxic green. Whereas this one kind of comes in and it now becomes more solidified in emerald. It's just a little bit deeper. Just one second. Beauty girl, what are you doing? Adventures? Okay. As long as she's not destroying stuff. So they are saying that there's a little bit that has to do with this light. So let me look at the light and just actually see what they want to share. Okay. Interesting. So when they brought me to their cups, here's Aziraphale and there's Crowley. And then when I really went in, it went down to, there's two there. There's two little dots there and there's one dot there. And that had to do with the star and the light. And so what they want to talk about is the channeling. And so what did they say about the channeling? They said, this is for that person who's so willing to bring anything in. If you are working with the light, they never want to diminish your light. They never want to take over. So when you are working with a light guide, a light being, when you notice, there's two of them. Whereas the one on the demon side is just one. Where you bring something in, it wants to consume everything and take over everything. And so it's again coming back to you in your vessel, and this anger. It's so important for you to feel your feels and actually know how you think and feel, because a lot of the times you'll have attachments or energies, right? We walk down the road, we'll pick up on something from someone, we take on their emotions as our own. We got to clear that and realize that's not ours. And we do all these things and we're in different environments and things like that. And then sometimes we might actually channel some energy through us. And that only is based on your free will or your ability to stay present. They're saying, I messed it up and now it's gone. It was along the lines of love the life you live the life you love, or something like that. It almost was like one of those like cheesy like live, love, laugh plaques, but the way they said it actually flowed and it made sense. It was simplified. It was not needing more. It was being happy and grateful with what you had in the bare minimum. and also knowing that that's extraordinary and extravagant. And so you're excited for those little mundane things that keeps your heart full. That's where that green ignited from the light to the grand, the emerald. When I think of emerald, I think of what am I trying to say? Royalty. I do. A sense of royalty. Right? I feel like more ruby and those kind of things are a little bit more that, but the emerald is regal. That's kind of what's coming through. And so Spirit just really wants to say, even if what you're doing you think has no importance, that even if you are just this server, Spirit has guided me throughout my life to different groups all the time. And one of the favorite ones that they always send me to is being a server, because they send me to different areas to be of service, either be serving, caregiving, whatever it is. And I find that a lot of those jobs tend to get overlooked, as if you are now just the help or something like that. And so Spirit knows that those jobs and those things that you do hold so much more than most people's physical eyes can see. So don't get caught up that you are in a spot in life that you feel less than, or whatever. I'm hearing like the hard work that you do, be proud of it. Be so proud of it, because there's just so many people that are lazy, that don't even know what to do with themselves. We're so happy that you channel yourself into a productive manner, and you share that love with the world. It doesn't matter what you do, it matters how you do it. And being of service is one of the most undervalued things. Yes, there's servers out there who just are like greedy for the money, but there are actually those who go out there with the heart that know to be of service. And so that's you claiming everything that you are in there. And so maybe I'm seeing someone now just be like a stay-at-home mom or something, and thinking that that's not as valuable or appreciative. But come on, we know that you're valuable. We know that you are the glue. We know that everybody's role and position in whatever setup that they're in is valuable. So be firm in your vessel. Be confident, and just go out and have an awesome day. A lot of times we judge ourselves that we have to be farther or whatever than we were meant to be. So that comparison to others has now, for some people, left them not feeling good about themselves. And when they don't feel good about themselves, then they try to push themselves farther and quicker than they need to. That's the case where someone's trying to channel and letting anything come through them. And you need to be mindful of what energies you're working through. And then the other situation is someone wanting to escape it and like avoiding things or drinking or, whatever it is that numbs it. And so Spirit just really wants you to, like, this is the world. Embrace all parts of you, everything, the good, the bad. Bring it back to the heart, and then know who you are. We want you to know whose feelings you picked up. We want to know who you're channeling through you. We just want to know who we are and let go of everything that's not. When you are working with the light, they'll always let you be there. And that's why on my videos, like I see this internal struggle, because they're not going to try to change the way that you think. They're not going to say, this is the answer, you need to think like me. But if it was something of an energy that was more on the darker side, they would be like, you need to follow me. I know everything. I know better than you. Whereas on the other, more angelic side, they almost like help you make mistakes. They guide you through your mistakes so that you can understand and grow from it. You're protected all the time, but yeah. Spirit just wants us to be proud of this vessel in all shapes and forms, and to show up and be of service. So we'll leave it there. Have a good day, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.